is real, you sacrifice for a long time. The journey was worth it, now the blessing right on time. No matter what go on, they can't talk, this my time. As long as the money pile, nobody can take my smile. Tell it to them, money we spend, setting the trends. While I pray for the farm and the enemy them. Only truth and the real youth them I defend. Me and dirty bad mind could I never be friend. Talk the things, no matter how them try. Only the strong will rise, they don't believe. Watch how the king stay wise. Can't stop the youth from fly.
So me tell them, talk them a talk, them a liar. Really get our youth work hard, go wire. When them a hate, we a build empire.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Apologies there. I didn't even know that song had a bit of an expletive in it. Right, so good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. And I purposefully chose that song. I type in clean in case 2 in 1 still. Because it echoes some of the dreams, the sentiments of young men coming out of, I wouldn't say so much ghetto per se, but difficult circumstances. I know all 3 individuals who sang, who wrote, produced, and sang that song. I say in 3, but in the production there might have been another one as well. And what it reflects is their mindset, where they come from. And I feel very strongly that too many of us, we are willing to criticize, to speak about what is taking place in the urban communities, the poorer communities, the crime, etc. But to even give enough thought to the human beings that are the perpetrators, the victims of this whole cycle of violence and this socio-economic difficulty and chaos. We wouldn't even spend 10 minutes to try to understand what is taking place. You know, but we spend 10 hours on harsh, not solutions, some are akin to solutions, but harsh measures that we think will solve the problem. And I listened to Dr. David Mohammed the other day talking about the topic. And he said, okay, so if we take everyone who is highlighted as an issue within the society like now, if we take every who we want to call criminal, whatever, suspected without even fully having proof, if we take all of them and we remove them from the society, they no longer exist in this space of Trinidad and Tobago, will that mean that crime will come to an end? All other things remaining the same, will it mean that we will be on a trajectory towards peace and understanding and strengthening of community bonds, etc., and we won't have to meet up this problem anytime in the near future? I mean, y'all can answer that yourselves. And I've continually had conversations with people about these tremendous issues that we face in our country, in our societies, in our society. And it is deeper. It is deeper than the individual, because the individual is without understanding sometimes of even what they are doing. They're caught up in a spiral. They have inherited conflicts in their community. They are scraping for survival, and they believe something, some movie, some song, some example of those before them, some example of those in authority, has given them the absolute belief that the way to survive and succeed is to do the evil, the wrong things that they are doing. So I have to agree with many of my, constant callers who have that understanding and wisdom, that it is a systematic approach that needs to be taken, a holistic one, and our society needs to change course. If the factory, let's view Trinidad and Tobago as a factory, if the factory is set on producing this which we are producing now, then it will continue to produce that. We have to change the setting. And while we complain, and while we live in pain, the people who profit off of that pain. And I am happy that concerted efforts are being made. I'm happy that there is this desire to give individuals who hold in that strain and have not descended into a space where they want to take something that belongs to somebody else by force. Let me get correct too, eh? Because in Trinidad and Tobago, people take other people's stuff in many different ways. One of those ways is by violence and by force. And that's a very difficult one for us. I understand that we want to give those people the opportunity to protect themselves. And we will collectively agree here today that it is a supreme, it's a gross violation of yourself, of your rights, of your family, of your to have someone come at you in your home and you not being able to protect yourself. So the opportunity to protect yourself is one that is being welcomed. For those who don't know, across Trinidad and Tobago, we have consultations about this Stand Your Ground legislation. The legislation provides for a number of new parameters, a shift in parameters. So the homeowner, the person at home, has the right to use force to stop someone who's trying to enter your home. And when they're speaking about using force, it is also being paired with the increased ability to attain firearms as well. Once you qualify and you go through the rigorous qualification procedures, because we don't want, people who are not fit with firearms. So we understand the dynamic of what is taking place, but simultaneously, along with this new legislation, which we welcome in many ways, this new legislation that also increases the penalties to people who break into homes. Right? The increased penalties. I think there's also I'll try to pull it up as well. The maximum penalty for the loss of life, causing the loss of life when you enter someone's home, if you straight death sentence. Just really sending a signal. But that signal could work for those who listening to it. But if there's a mindset of I don't care, I am willing to risk my life, which we have been seeing, then that may not reach to those individuals. So let us not play too much games with the entire issue. Let us accept, yes, this can help. It can give someone a chance. It can give a family a chance in very dangerous circumstances that we live in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time. It can assist, well, somebody to protect themselves. But then we also have to face the reality that it's not something that is going to be affordable by most. You know, many middle class and lower income people who are in the firing line, whose proximity to crime is even closer. Many of us, we can't afford a little camera, a little jokey camera, or even a safety door. You know, those heavy metal doors that most of us try to get now, or burglar proofing. Some of us can't afford even that. So to be able to afford a firearm which will come with a cost is going to be a challenge for us. So we must also simultaneously find real solutions to what is taking place. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning, Fuad.
Yeah, man, morning.
Have you ever heard the phrase, "Get your die trying"?
Was that get rich or die trying?
Yeah. Have you ever heard the phrase?
Of course. I mean,
Most of them fellas won't care. Understand?
yeah.
Yeah. So you have to make sure you can defend yourself against them. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Understood, 100%. But if we dig a little deeper, how do we change that mindset? How do we help to inform the society and inform these young people that, listen, you're not going to get rich by breaking into somebody else's home and trying to take their stuff? How do we prevent our society from producing a next batch? Because there's a batch that already exists that we have to cope with, but another batch of human beings who think that way. Is it fair? Is it just fear we're going to use at the back end? I mean, fear is necessary and important sometimes to curb situations, but that is last resort. Are we digging deeper into our society? So some of us would have heard certain voice notes being shared around from individuals who they claim are in the prison and given certain instructions, some frustrated rants as well, you have heard as well. I don't know how much all you're connected in the sense that you may be privy to these things, but Trinidad and Tobago information is shared quickly and widely. How are we ensuring that people who go into the system are reformed? How are we ensuring that people who are kept within the system are kept in a way that the rest of the population is safe from them? I see prison officers complaining this morning about the challenges that they are facing, that they have been facing. Pressure. I know finding employment in this society is challenging, right? Particularly challenging over the last years and even now. And we hope to improve that to a large extent. But anybody who is contemplating employment, The two things you kind of shy away from: police service, prison service, you know, pressure. Where is that reform? Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Abubakar.
Hey, good morning, Mr. West. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Mr. Abubakar, you find that the problem in this country is a massive one. And sometimes you say to know what is happening inside, sometimes you have to peek from outside. And it is those people from the outside, the news agencies and whatnot, and personal Trinidadians living abroad who would tell you, based on news report and how people assess the situation in Trinidad, what is the state of Trinidad? Trinidad is a total mess. Total mess. And I'm saying people must understand, when you have economic problems, it brings on social problems. It brings on homelessness. It brings on crime. It's all sort of, psychological problems, stress, family dysfunction. All these things take place. So the emphasis now has to be on generating employment. Right? It has to be on generating economic activity within the economy, getting jobs for the young people. It has to be now on terms of restoring hope, because some people are hopeless, and that is the kind of government, the state of the country that this government they have inherited. They didn't create that, In fact, when they came into office, they would have met probably just that state of emergency that the previous government put in place, right? It was only after they turned down the state of emergency, as it were, and they came into office. But the fact remains is that the crime, as a matter of fact, was ever present, and we know that. Last year we had about 624, some say 24, some say 644 murders and all kind of things, robbery, house breaking, house invasion, home invasion, and all these different things. Trinidad is a mess, and people have to accept that. And if you live in a community and those people can't get towards the middle class and the upper class, and those people, the people in your area, if you live in the first community, they will come at you, those who they perceive to have.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it, but they
perceive you to have. You might have a little bit more, and that's
they
it.
Don't understand that they're coming at you, those old people with their pension and all. So we need urgently to bring this thing under control. We won't want to end up like Haiti, because what happened in Haiti is that you had gangs and all these different things, and they mash up the whole of Port-au-Prince. And I'm saying that this thing requires some urgency. And I'm telling, and again, is neglect, because those communities, again, they were dysfunctional. Nobody didn't care. Everybody running in and seeing about their business, who traveling and going abroad, and who would want bag under the arm all over the place, right? Meeting and dancing and all kind of, and neglecting those communities. If you don't look after your communities, those, and especially those depressed communities, and you don't, as Morgan Job used to say, if you don't feed the swine, they will eat you. And understand what's going on. If those people are not taken care of, and you don't, when I say taking care of, if you don't put the mechanisms in place, the structure, the social programs, you sport, and somebody spoke recently, they passed through some area in the West there, the place dead, no activity. And it means that you're not able to take the people's mind, because they say the devil finds work for idle hands. And you know that, we know that. And this is why yesterday I called on those people who were, because I grew up at a time when the church they played very active. They used to have what you call crusade. They used to have all these things. They had youth group thing in the CYO and all that. You had youth groups and all these different things to occupy the minds of the people, of the young children, the youth. Nothing at all. So I'm saying with some urgency, we need to attend to the communities, those depressed communities. And one thing I want to say, those members of parliament, especially those people in the depressed communities, I hope that you're not going to spend 5 years in office again and can't respond by saying what you did, even one project that you as MP and you as a local councillor would have put in those communities, you know. What program? What have you done? You put on debate? You put on group sessions and whatnot? Did you bring in those people with the skills, the training and the skills in order to impart knowledge to these people, to change behavior, change attitude? I want to see whether you come back next, probably 2030 or wherever it is, and I asking, what did you do in those communities? You are leaders in the communities. Those are the people you put to represent, and you must show results, even though you can't tell me you're not in government. Because there are things you could do. You have people who are not in government, and they're doing things. You have to do something. You can't walk back and throw a pay and say that we're not in government. I want to see what you're doing in your communities. What, even one project, 2 projects that you did in order to uplift the people. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. West. And we agree wholeheartedly, because it has to be done. So while we, yes, we are happy about this stand your ground legislation and giving people a chance to protect themselves as well, we have so much as well otherwise to do. There's so much to do. So I'm taking your opinion and your voices. We have in our consultation here as well on 91.9 FM. All right, so we'll be back right after the break, and we'll continue the consultations. Blessings.
Warning message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Celebrate Christmas in July at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to $1,900 off appliances. But wait, there's more. Get a free gift with select purchases. No cash, flexible hire purchase plans available. Hurry into Furniture Plus today.
When your corporate event needs more than just food, it needs an experience. A Michelin experience. From mouth-watering buffet spreads to beautiful packed takeaway boxes, the Michelin Experience Limited delivers more than just wheels. We deliver flavor. We deliver satisfaction. We deliver excellence straight to your boardroom. Whether it's a conference, board meeting, or a retirement function, go beyond basic. Go bold. Go Michelin Experience Limited. Call us now at 1-868-474-2250 or follow us on social media at Michelin Experience. Great food, exceptional service every time.
New KFC tenders just hit, and you'll want to dip it, dunk it, drip it all day long. Hot and spicy or extra crispy. Non-spicy, 3 pieces for just $29.95. Sauce it up with one of 4 flavors for that finger-licking goodness. This Java, chase the crunch. Only at KFC. Come
Come shop at the biggest African market in the Caribbean with its African-inspired art, craft, jewelry, clothing, books, delicious food. We're at the Queen's Park Savannah, transformed into the Lidjasu Omuale Emancipation Village for the 2025 Pan-African Festival TT, commemorating emancipation, July 25th to August 1st. Also, enjoy jazz, pan, calypso, reggae, dance, drumming, bois, art exhibits, and for the children, the African Heritage Camp and workshops. The village opens 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Free admission before 3 p.m. Just $40 after. Kids under 12, free all day. Bring your family, your friends, your vibes, and let's celebrate the 187th anniversary of emancipation, our heritage and future together. The Emancipation Support Committee, shaping sustainable futures through reparatory justice.
Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes. Free entry and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes. This isn't just a bottle, it's a moment. Coca-Cola is asking you to come out on August 2nd at Shops at West City Canaan, 12 to 5 p.m. and customize your Coke. Can't find your name in stores? We'll print it. More info on Instagram and Facebook at Caribbean Bottlers TT.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight.
The time is 7 a.m. This time check is sponsored by Nescafe Ready to Drink. It just hits different.
And the playlist right, it hits different. Can you feel that shift? Nescafe Ready to Drink. On the road, we on the go. Just grab your crew and grab your broom. Hits different, hits different. Vanilla latte mocha. Hits different. Nescafe, the party never over.
Nescafe Ready to Drink.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamflo, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, just vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rollin', yes we rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit NLCBgames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Can't find your name on the bottle? No stress. Coca-Cola wants you to stop by shops at West City Canaan on August 2nd, 12 to 5 p.m. and get yours custom made. Share a smile, share a Coke. Find out more on our Instagram and Facebook at Caribbean Bottlers TT. This summer, Pizza Hut is bringing the heat with a deal that's too good to miss. Get one large pizza plus cheesy breadsticks for just $135. Pepperoni, cheese, Hawaiian, and more. Pick your flavor and make it a Hut Day. Dine in, carry out, or get it delivered. Get your Hut deals until August 31st only at Pizza Hut. Now that's delivering.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Good morning again to Trinidad and Tobago. All right, good morning to everybody out and about. I always like to give that special blessing and good morning to those who are working, putting in that effort to keep Trinidad and Tobago functioning. We were discussing the topic. One, there are public consultations going on the topic of new stand your ground legislation, and of course it is a important piece of legislation. It will help some people who have that economic ability to attain a firearm, etc., to be able to have a fighting chance if that terrible experience comes to them where someone is trying to enter their home. It is also a deterrent to those who are thinking about doing criminal activity, doing acts that will supposedly, listen, you're not going to gain economically by it. You might get away once, and then, as you are empowered to think that it is something that can bring you economic success, you're going to lose your life. You're going to put yourself in a position at best where you are imprisoned, at worst where somebody has to bury you. It does not make sense. It is not worth it. If you think about it clearly, and someone coming into wherever you reside, wherever it is, with your little family, if you have a family, a mother, somebody, it is not a course of action that makes any sense whatsoever. But the mindset of our people, the mindset of our youth is important. And when I played this song earlier, three young men at that point in time, some 7 years or more ago, more than 7 years ago, what they aspiring to, what they were aspiring to out of the society. You know, what their dream was, not just for themselves, but also for their fellow young people. Because the song goes, this year every ghetto youth bus, every ghetto youth get through. You know, living is a must. Being able to live. If you don't know, people don't even consider when you're in an economic bind living, right? I mean, you have life, but part of the mindset of our younger society is you ain't living if you ain't living. If you ain't have a cent to do nothing, to go, to see, to be, well, you don't need money to be. But you ain't living. That's the concept. So these young men, when they sang that song, you know, they're putting out that hope. And they're putting forth that dream for the fellow youths too. They were every youth in Trinidad and Tobago to get through. To have something to hold on to have, even if it's hope. And then obviously they go into, you know, the pounds and the US is a must because the economic importance, the importance of economic strength as a human being as well. And then they go on to kind of touch into the experience of the urban community. I call it the urban community. Want to call it ghetto, want to call it whatever, right? But those who come from a little more difficult strata of society. They say, let me see your lighters if you know you are a survivor. And even from their perspectives, right? Good morning, KG. Good morning, Wong. Good morning, Hey Choppy. Even from their perspectives, now they are successful young, not so young men anymore, but you know, in different fields, you know, music, one migrated and working, etc., family, another one extremely successful in terms of his podcasts and interviews and entertainment as well. But they all have that commonality, that feeling coming out of a place where, you know, it's a little challenging. Not base poor, but even working class, you know, struggle. And the feeling is that if you can come out of that, if you could survive, you are a survivor. Excuse me. Listen to the language. Understand that it is survival to even just come out. Not my words, I didn't write this song. It is survival just to come out and to still be fighting to go forward. Now we have to change that in our society. We have to reshape that and move people from that base level of just survival. So many people will say to you they're just trying to survive. And in a dog eat dog, imagine we comparing ourselves to animals that are supposed to be lesser than us. And I don't think dogs is really eat dogs. But in a dog eat dog, or it's a dog eat dog, not dog eat dog, world, we fighting each other. So it is a it is a systematic issue that we have. We have young people who want something out of the society, who want something and they want it now. They've been trained to think that way. And then the example set for them is that example of violence, takeaway, or some type of activity that is not right. So we have to recreate the conditions. We have to recreate the mindsets. We have to stop setting up the society for crime. We set in the stage. I mean, I think the young man who was killed allegedly in this whole kidnapping, one of them who was, I guess maybe he was guarding. I don't know what he's doing. Because it's a young man and a young woman. The young woman was held, but the young man was killed in apparently, they say some shootout or whatever. 20-something years of age, right? What were you thinking? For economic gain? For a little money? You don't have a viable alternative that have less risks involved? Like when you sign up for that job, you ain't thinking about the work hazards. You ain't thinking about when payment come in, if you'll be wrong to be paid. What we doing? What we doing? Are we preparing our young people that their minds are able to process things clearly? And are we creating the opportunities, as Mr. West said? Are we creating the opportunities so that don't even look viable to them? Because to me, that ain't looking viable even from a economic perspective. So we really have to take some responsibility in this society. And along these consultations, I want people to think a little deeper. We start at the point where we are discussing stand your ground, but we should go into a further understanding of this whole dynamic so that we can find solutions so that you don't have to just stand your ground. So we could step a little bit forward. So you could regain. Instead of us being cooped up, hidden in our houses, watching the door, sleeping light. I don't know where we're going to put our gun if it's right next to the head, the bed, right? I don't know, because you got to look for it quick. I mean, a fighting chance, but just think about the whole situation. Is it that this is where we putting up the fort and we defending? Or are we going to reclaim our society in a real way? Because I could tell you a better way to spend that $35,000 if you want to reclaim your community. I could tell you a better way to spend how much ever it's going to be somewhere around there at least to reclaim, instead of sitting down on your rocking chair whole night waiting. And I don't know if we're going to take turns to sleep, protecting our families. So we need to make sense of this situation. we need to approach the situation with a human perspective. As one of the lawyers, prominent now in terms of human rights for sure, has stepped forward and said, we need to solve this issue with the courts and the delays. We need to get real with prosecution. We need to get real with our policing and reform it, so that it is not just in a SOE we can deal with our issues. And forgive me because I think about things a little bit deeper. But you take a man or a couple of men and you imprison them. And you imprison them and they're waiting for trial, so they are innocent until proven guilty. They have families who are living on the outside here, right? They have dependents. Maybe they have children, and maybe it is that they actually care for and feel themselves responsible for their children and their wife or whoever else. Now you are in a position where you are imprisoned for a protracted period of time, a long period of time. How are you going to provide for that family? Is there some provision in place? Is it satisfactory? What are you going to get involved in to ensure that you can take care of those responsibilities? You understand in this society, Trinidad and Tobago, right, that with our system and our legal system, if you have a prominent, competent attorney, you have the chance of success and freedom. Now, where you're going to get money? You're still in prison waiting trial and awaiting trial. Where are you going to get money? To get legal representation, to have a hope of freedom. And now you sit down, you're in this prison setting with hardened criminals, with people who have already made up their mind that they hate the society. The society has been so vicious and evil towards them. They have so much issues, social issues, family issues, whatever. They are victims of abuse, of crime, of exploitation. And you sit down with them. Morning caller, welcome.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, man, morning.
And it's well. Let me say this, See this thing called remand. It is something that we have to remove from our law books. And I know you strongly support the government, but I do not believe this government will fix the justice system. Because, you see now, people in this country benefit from criminals, from the court. You telling me that we have free legal people, but there is 2x4. There is not like if you have money, you could hire a senior counsel or a criminal lawyer to fight the case and to push a case, because we witness a case here in this country called One Day, because there's a high-profile person and they have big money and they hire a big lawyer, FC counsel, and I mean, and they could pay a lawyer $2 million to go and see the judge. The judge, yes, your case will be called fast. We are turning people in the jail more criminals than how they is. I don't care what people say. We are turning them criminals for the last 60 years in this country. Because I know if a man do a crime, he has to go in jail, of course. But you still cannot put somebody in jail in condition where they cannot pick up the phone and call the daughter, call the wife, call the mother. If you think the reason why phone is sneaking into the jails and them, it have no telephone that you could go and make a phone call to call your mother, to call your lawyer. So phones have to sneak in, and prison officers have to bring in phone to prisoners. That is how it goes. To bring in a phone in jail is about $5,000. You make 2 chip. You make 2 chip as a prison officer. $5,000, like $10,000 in a daytime you making. For a SIM card in the prison is $500 for just a SIM card for a prison. There's more trade and business in the jail than Trinidad and Tobago making trade international. And if there's more trade and business in the jail, it's a multi-billion-dollar thing. This is why they didn't come and change nothing. No government will change it. Because it have people, I finally get to, I could tell you that, sit down in jail innocently, we get a frame case. It have people sitting from Sadio Singh. From Sadio Singh. We know Sadio Singh, what people he put in jail there. That people sit down in jail 10 and 15 years and they can't get one hearing because they're poor and they have no money. I was going to say black, you know. But they're poor and they have no money. They can't call a senior counsel. They can't call a criminal lawyer. Where is the promo lawyers to help people who cannot afford lawyers? But you have these 2x4. You don't have no good lawyers in this country who doing promo free case because they find that it's a waste of time. If the state appoint you in this country, give you a lawyer, that lawyer don't care. He don't care. Just some time. That people making millions back, millions from the jail. You're telling me that we in 2025, where we have a man get hold for marijuana, and you put him against amongst killers, murderers. Imagine that. Imagine I never, I close to 40, I never been in jail. Never go in jail in my life. And first I go in jail for maybe something, you know what I mean? For something where, it was something small. And you put in me, it has people there for maintenance, child maintenance, and they put them amongst criminals, killers, rapers. And then you telling me, this is a society I want to be in. But I go America and live because I witness people fighting the case on their own. I witness the state give them proper lawyer, codified lawyer to fight the case. So I am also concerned what you are speaking about here this morning. It's a serious topic and a serious issue, but the justice system in this country is going by the lawyers, the police, the donkeys, the judge, everybody that when you speak about that, the justice system, everybody in it, because as I told you, to bring in a phone in the prison is about $5,000. You make 4 chip for the week. You make 4 chip for the week. You could buy a nice car. You could buy a nice car, have a big gold chain on that. There's people paying. So as I close, the prison today is a revenue. It's a trade. This is what I know. And if we're strong, we could demand and call for this government to change so much a law on the law books. So much a law to change. Because when I tell them, Baka, I say let us vote for constitution reform. Do not just let us vote to remove a man and put somebody else there. They said, no, Kingsley, when you vote UNC, when you vote UNC, everybody win. I said, let us vote so we could pick our Chief Justice of our country. They said, no, Kingsley, we can't vote, so we have to have a vote in party politics. I said, let us vote so we could pick our own commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago. They said, no, Kingsley, we vote UNC, because when UNC win, everybody win. They said, we can't vote so. We can't vote independent. Today, I hear the Prime Minister say, there is nothing called about independent senators. It's president, senators. I ask them, I say, hey, let the people of Trinidad and Tobago decide who they want to be independent senators, and the speaker does say, no, Kingsley, when UNC win, everybody win. They want to tell me. So I know, I don't know big book sense, but common sense and understanding. I know when I'm in Rome, I live like the Romans. I have to live because they will kill things politically. When I said country, we said no, party. So what do I want the people like me, who know right from wrong, who know that the people in this country living in matrix and is Indian here, and is African here, who want to go back India, who want to go back Africa. But one thing I always like and hold to my heart is what the founding father said to us. There's no mother India, there's no mother Africa, but there is mother Trinidad and Tobago. And once we as a citizen understand there is mother Trinidad and Tobago, this country will be a better country. I thank you very much, Daka.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kingsley. Right, we appreciate the contributions. 342-0081466539. The problem of the prisons, the problem of the judicial service as well, the problems of the police, and the reform that is absolutely necessary if we want to see some real changes in terms of crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. They have to be confronted. There's no way to escape it. Morning, brother. Welcome.
Oh, blessed morning.
Yeah, man. Blessed morning to you too.
And that's giving thanks to life. You know, today is the Emperor Selassie, the King birthday, so we're looking to celebrate life. And let's listen to some more conscious, big up all the conscious youth out there. And let's be focused and do the right thing and stay away from prison. But where Kingsley saying the prisoners? For how much for a cigarette in the prison?
How much for a cigarette now?
100.
100 for one cigarette?
For one cigarette. Yeah. I know that people in prison, they send their daughter to the university, build house, buy cars and things on the road, you know. That the underworld, you know, they are more like peace, you know, for her.
Yeah.
So I beg you, all the young ones, the young person, them, all stay away from jail. Jail is a nice place.
All right.
Before I just look to and listen and take you to the good program, by bless the love.
Yeah, man, blessings. Least all I get the wrong idea, right? It's business for some people. It's not business for everybody else, eh? So don't feel you're going to go to prison and make money. Morning, caller.
How pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. A pleasant good morning to you, Fuan. A pleasant good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world. Long time to talk, right, Fuad?
Yeah, blessed morning to you as well. Blessed morning. Welcome.
You know who it is?
Yes. The voice and all cannot be mistaken.
Cannot remember me. I've been around for long. Father, as I witnessed your wedding in the Hyatt, I'll give you a little hint. I was there when he got married that Sunday.
I know who I'm talking to.
Right,
yeah, blessings to you.
Why are you calling me name? People want to hear you say mother who. Good morning, folks out there. I'm alive, I'm kicking, I'm well. And I listened to Fuad. I can't tell you how long I put on my radio. You know what I'm telling you, son? I don't want to hear the news. I don't want to hear nothing. I just went into, what do you call it? To, whatever. Before I listened to you this morning, and I know much of what you was talking about there, but I don't know why the radio called me this morning, and I hear you talking about prison. You know what it was my concern? I want them to revamp or restructure the whole judiciary and the prison and all like that. I don't understand how a young man could go to prison for whatever crime he committed, and in jail perishing punishment. I mean, you don't know who guilty or who not guilty. You have all the not guilty ones along with the guilty ones, and turning the one who not really guilty until they face the judge. They coming out a criminal because they have to fight for survival in prison. Why they have to do that? Why you have to keep a young man in jail until they finally realize he was not guilty and send him back home? Why you have to keep a young man or woman in prison until whatever the problem that they went into jail for, they do more waiting in jail than the time the judge was supposed to put on them, and it's releasing them because of they already spend the time in jail and they're not guilty. So I put that good for me, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And you've been very clear. Don't worry. I ain't even need to put it good. You've made it very clear.
I'm trying. I'm 77 years old, you know. I got old crook in the corner here, you know. But I'm listening and I'm watching and I'm reading and I put it into practice. They say listen twice, 3 times, and speak once. No rah-rah. As you hear something, you run with it. You have to sit down inside and meditate and listen. So when you talk, people respect what you're saying. Me ain't no government, they hit me hard. Oh, you say PNM had a... I say, yes, I did say it, but if only had sense and I was following the conversation when I say, Paul plant, Paul is water, but it's only God to give the increase. And whoever God put there, his will must be done on it. Isn't that telling them it doesn't matter who win, F1?
Right.
I said, well, if God see that the UNC was the servant of the government at the time, so be it, God's will was done. So Paul, he put that in place for PNM to go and retrospect what the word is, help me. And go back and refresh the self and come again. It could be that. We're all, oh God, bloom and doom. Yellow is the cold, yellow is the cold, yellow. And then a racist thing kind of take this country now forward. You see me, if I said this on internet, the amount of blows, you will see people coming for me, you know. You can't talk, you know, forward. Forward is shutting you down, you know. It doesn't matter what they say in favor or not in favor of the government right now. It's blows for you, you know. It's a kind of disunity take over Trinidad and Tobago. That is why I say people, we have to pray like we never prayed before. You hear them quiet, they want to hear them to run out there. I believe in being quiet, you know, before. They're saying nothing because anytime they open their mouth, the vampires and them come in, the bloodsuckers and them come in. Because they don't care right now what the government do. They don't care once they are there. You understand? So people, only when rain fall, or you catch water. I tell them that for years and they didn't understand that is wisdom. Meaning when you're making money, put it away. Don't go and buy the hair and the weave and the this and the that and go to stink and dirty party and go to vice cartel and pay 300 and 400 and 1,000 to hear them. What is that? And no hard time take you. What happened? All these people basket full, you know, I'm forward. And they don't understand, you know, they say they want to eat grass. I ain't eating no grass. Made this old lady here, and I just remind them every day that what I get in the pension I get in cannot do the things that I really would want to do. I get in the need supply by my pension from the U.S. government. I get nothing from Trinidad and Tobago, not even a caregiver to take care of me in this bed. I wasted my years at talking, and I'm making sure I don't die being a PNM or a UNC or nobody. I want to die at the life of a child of God. So you all have a blessed day. And I'm here and I'm listening.
Yeah.
And the young men put on the guns because they only hear passing through this land. And when they buy the gun, you're going to die by the gun. Your family have to pour on what they have and what they don't have. Your mothers have to sit down and make what we call long-term hand fears to survive. Because when she make a boy child, and some of them depend on me, on the boy child, I raise my boy child, he go work on it, he will take care of me, and at the end of the day, he in jail. So it's unsafe. People just pray, have a blessed day, mother love all, and mother still alive and kicking. Thank you for that. Blessings to you and your family.
Yeah, blessings to you as well. Absolute pleasure to hear from you. Right? Send some Bible to everybody, right? You could send one to me and all. Send one to the PNM, send one to the UNC, because your advice is welcome. Right? Your advice is welcome. And it is still love. Let us show love towards each other. And let us give each other the chance of our listening here. Thank you, Mother. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, peace be upon you on this beautiful day, Brother Ford.
And to you as well, my brother. Monsieur, you good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing my best.
All right,
Yeah,
go ahead. Make your contribution.
I listened to you all morning, and I'm listening to your lament on the situation, you know, with the courts, with the crime in our country. And, you know, all kind of thoughts going through my head. Now, as we know, there are three kind of people in the world today, in Trinidad too. People who make things happen, either good or bad. People who watch as things happen. And people who wonder, well, what the hell just happened? No, you see, the people in them who make any things happen, they really have to sit down and think what they're doing, you know. Because you're telling me a man to a robbery or whatever, take 10 years to go to court, boy. Oh God, who run any country? What are they really doing is a statement on our leaders, you know. When you see things taking so long, justice on time. You ain't getting no justice on time. They're getting Russia court on time. And the man Russian, you're getting paid. Yeah, I mean, we gotta do better than that, man. We gotta do our so-called leaders. Come now, man. What are they really doing? All they see what's going on. Wake up and try and make something better now. And you know, the last caller, I think the elderly lady, she mentioned something about the hereafter. We too focus on the here and now, you know. All of it time for this thing, you know. This life we live in is just a little moment in time, a fleeting moment. But we wouldn't wake up to that realization, you see, and that's what causing all the bacchanal. Where were true leaders, boy? Ah, boy. I holding up faith to the present government that they can make a change. We see some kind of little change now, boy. And see all the president men who waiting for too long and put some tag on the foot or the hand. Have electronic thing you could follow people. Yeah, I mean, arrest this jail situation. We need to arrest the jail situation. That's why I had arrest. Yeah, brother. You have a blessed day. I keep on listening. Yeah, man.
You as well. Thank you. There are measures that can be taken to ameliorate the situation of the prisons. If there is a proper prison system as well, we would know the individuals who are capable of rehabilitation and who can be reintroduced into the society, who can be allowed to come out on bail, and if like you say, the electronic tagging, whatever, to prevent continual offending. Morning caller, morning Mr. West.
Yeah, Mr. Ubaka, when in this country you have people who can get things done, you know, and you have those people who sit on things, and you put people in position sometimes and they take 10 years to get to move a pen from one desk to the next. And you need people to be, so even if you're talking about, reform of the judiciary, or probably dealing with the problems with the judiciary, the tardiness or the delay in having matters dealt with. You don't want people to go and sit down there in 3 months and have a committee this, and I have to do this. You put people there to get on with the business, not people to go there and drive all about the place, have good time and then I chancellor and I this and that. You put them there to fix the problem that exists. And that is the problem with Trinidad. People get position and they sit down on the position because they reach, right? And one thing I want to talk about this, I don't want to be long because of people calling. The fact remains with respect to this consultation. Consultation is one of the pillars of democracy, in where people are able to tell government, inform government as to what they want, and not people telling you what they want for you and what is best for you. So people should seize that opportunity, whether you're in a UNC constituency or a PNM constituency. Let your MP in the PNM, those people in the Gomartin area, that area, let them carry on. They could carry on their own consultation and give what they want, what the people desire to the government to probably give them the limited resources that they have. We know that there are no money, but give them the limited that they can assist with certain vital or prioritized problems in your community. Seize that opportunity, right? Let them know your community center that you want to be furnished, you want to have programs in your community, you personal jobs and all these kind of things and all it should be done. Take that opportunity. Forget those people who will tell you about VM, this and that and the UN. Get behind those MP. Let them work. They're getting paid. They're not there for good looks and for good time and to go by the Red House and dance up and talk about this and that and what? Propagandists, stupid talk all about the place. Let them get busy and to deal with the people's problems. Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. There's also the shadow MPs in these constituencies that are still represented by PNM representatives, so to speak, where you can also address the government because they will be able to carry whatever message, whatever instruction you want within your constituency to the government. Because remember, the government represents everyone, every single community, every single constituency, regardless of who they voted for. The government now has a responsibility to deliver. I also want to say that this current administration has been making good on their promises. And one of those promises, which was essential on the campaign trail, which many people, and I understand why many people supported it as well, wanted, was the stand your ground legislation, because they genuinely feel as though it will give them a greater chance at protecting themselves. And I can understand that 100%. And if you look at the course that this administration has taken in the 2 months that they are now in office, they have moved quickly. They have moved quickly to bring legislation to enforce the promises that they made. The things that they are mandated to do, the things that they spoke about, which resulted in overwhelming victory at the polls, they are quickly putting into effect. So we have to be pleased about that. But also now, as we deal with the issues with a little more depth, we have to speak to the wider issues that will create a situation where we are safer. But because the end goal is not more people with firearms and more people to shoot whoever coming into their homes, you know. The end goal has to be that we make a safer society where less people are going into that avenue of destructive choice. That's the real solution, you know. And I'm saying that now we need to think further. So while we come for these consultations about stand your ground, let us think about the issue a little deeper. Yeah, fine, excellent, wonderful. That's a good starting point. Is a point within the entire mix. But how are we fixing the other issues? How are we paying attention to what our criminologists, what our lawyers are saying about our criminal justice system, about our police and reform. Why the police, again, in two very important operations, which they said they had, one in Arima and one in Matura, both they say are connected to the same kidnapping, and both in which two individuals were killed in whatever use of force, whatever. Why in both of those situations these advanced teams were not wearing these body cameras and able to dispel any notion of any issue in the way that they operated? Who is going to ensure? Who has that will to ensure that the correct thing, because it is the correct thing to do, is done? I'm seeing somebody on my live who has suffered the indignity of the police violating their rights, as has been my experience as well, where these officers, one, they violate you, two, they lie. When I tell you lie could make up story. The police could go into the schools and give the children stories, because when I tell you they could make up a story, of course fictitious, and they could collaborate very, very well, you know. If you think crime is organized, well, boy, crime with the police service is well organized. Because the statements that come like, one does right, whoever could write the most, the best, or whoever who's the most literate, there's create the story, and then there's just pass it through the photocopier, and there's change the name, white off the bottom and change the name, and for everybody that's the statements. So often is the furthest thing from the truth. Let us get real. Let us get real with the real problems. And let us give, yes, we give our government a mandate. And they are fulfilling many of the aspects of that mandate. But within this tremendous opportunity at consultation, let us give them a clear message about what we want, because what we want is less crime, and we are getting a clearer picture of what will create less crime. Let us make it abundantly clear. Prime Minister, Minister of Public Utilities, whoever else, we need this injection, these programs that assist the lower levels of the society to start back as soon as possible. Like yesterday, we understand that there are tremendous changes that need to take place because of whatever corruption. Make those changes quickly. In hindsight, I mean, I'm not there and I don't have to deal with the hardship of restructuring, but in hindsight, maybe before some of them were removed, maybe you should have already created the plan of what is to replace it so that it is seamless. Because the communities without this drip, there's a large sector of our society that is only get a drip of water, you know. And when you stop that drip, because yes, there are problems with the corruption, with the drip, but when you stop that drip, people begin to be in a position where they have thirst. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, son. God bless you.
Morning, Mom, and God bless you too. Welcome.
Yeah. I call to compliment Mr. Alexander, compliment this government, compliment the Commissioner of Police, and compliment the police officers who did those very good jobs to get this woman 1 week in those dirty fellas' hands, and to get this girl body in the suitcase, to get the fella who put that body in the suitcase. And I say thanks very much for working to help we who don't know who's the next one, you know. I call them, I thank them, because I mean, they can't do everything one time, but at least they're sitting down and praying, and they're saying that is a health issue. They're saying all those things.
Yeah.
At least we getting a lot of courage that something is being happening.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
Right. Now, Alexander can't talk by working. It's start something. And here in them programs, there's plenty of them, they say he can't talk, they sell him.
Yeah, don't study them. Don't study that, yeah.
He start working. So I want to thank them for the good thing they start doing. And because of your program, I get to know too what is taking place. You know?
Yeah.
Because this country, let me tell you something. People are looking, I'm very old, you might be looking. Under this Prime Minister has gone, nobody, I hate nobody. It just we want the country good. Now, under this Prime Minister has gone, this country nearly like Haiti. This country nearly like Haiti. I look at what happened in Tong. I think it was about 8 to 10 young fellows with guns in their hand, burned down a house and running with the gun in their hand. A set of them was on TV 6, 14 years. They said they're looking for jobs. Big rifle. Tell me what this country come to. Extortion was not there. Look at this. 4 murders. They go up to or the asking him on, you know what money he have it. Get it so much, get so much and so much in so much time, or you get it, or you just go and shoot the man. I mean, go and work them and go and do something, sell something. Man selling nuts in the hospital.
Yeah.
No matter how much they make, but they're not going to hold the gun.
Yeah. Apologies, Mom. You know? We out of time. All right. So thank you very much for calling.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very, very much. And we are out of time. Apologies for that, but time is limited as well. We also, and I want to extend my thanks to the Trinidad Hunters group who have played a pivotal role. I know that their efforts, right? Sometimes we don't thank them enough for their efforts, but I want to publicly thank that group for the work that they do as well. All right, so blessings and thanks to everyone. Do have a wonderful day. Take care.
9 p.m. for the program, This Same Jesus, the program that puts Jesus in his rightful place in our hearts and in our homes. Let's bring church home to you. Join us every Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. with your hosts, Kempes and Kevin. Be inspired, be blessed right here on the street 91.9 FM.